my gosh, that breeze feels so good. It's like 95 degrees, 100% humidity here today, so I need that in my life. So I know that you guys can hear the wind noise. Too bad. I'm rolling through it because I need this, because it has been dead calm all day, sun beating down on me. You probably see the sunburn. But anyway, the question everybody's asking is, dude, what is up with that rail? And that is a Tackstar. You can see the Tackstar right there, carbon fiber M-LOK rail. This thing was pretty cool. It is very light, and the reason that it has taken me so long to produce this video after meeting the people at Tackstar at SHOT Show is because this thing was not ready. So I was really waiting to change out the rail on my Spikes gun until this thing came out. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little piece of anecdotal experience. If you are looking for a rifle to put stuff on, like if you want a gun, if you want to purchase a gun and then mod it out and put a whole bunch of your own parts on it, Spikes is not your gun. If you want a gun that is like nearly impossible to disassemble or come apart, that's what you're looking for right there. And I don't get paid to say that, but it took me like 2 hours to install this rail. And the reason it took me 2 hours to install that rail is because I had to get all of the old parts off of it. It only took about 5 minutes to install this rail after I got all the old parts off, but the way that it attaches is to the Delta Ring barrel nut. So if you guys remember back to like 2005, before the real prevalence of free float handguards and things like that, it was always a pain in the butt to attach those rails because nobody had really come up with a good way to do it at that point. And people were basically producing these rails that all you did was cut off your Delta Ring and then attach the rail directly to that. This is built around that concept, and it does it very well. In fact, of all the rails that I've ever done that use that, this was the easiest to install. So I actually had to dig through some old parts to get a Delta Ring barrel nut to put on this thing. So if there's one thing that I would say that I would have to ding Tackstar for, it's that they don't have their own attachment system. Now, I appreciate that they're trying to forward think and think about people that may have that that kind of stock-esque plastic handguard thing going on. For those people, super, great. But it does not come with its own barrel nut. It comes with a shim that works with that barrel nut, but if you don't have one, you have to purchase one somewhere else. So I would say to them, if you're gonna have it do that way, you should have it as an option that you can buy the Delta Ring barrel nut, or have it so that if you don't want it to work with that, then there's another option for people that don't have to dig through their old AR parts to find a Delta Ring barrel nut. So, but anyway, again, super easy to install, and it does come with a piece of pick rail there on the front that is the same level height as your rail here, so that you can run your backup irons on the gun, so, should you so choose. It does have a bevel there at the front. You can see that it does not come even, and I was somewhat concerned about this to begin with, because I was concerned that we were not going to be able to fit a can in there. However, if I can get this all apart, and this gun is cleaned and safe and all that sort of stuff, if we take a can, we will see that it actually has been properly relieved for use with a silencer. So I am quite happy with that, and I do believe that this rail is going to be a permanent fixation on this rifle, because it does reduce the weight, especially compared to the Spikes rail that was on there. It was like a quad rail, if you guys remember, and it made the gun somewhat front heavy. Now the only thing making this thing front heavy is this rugged surge on the front here. So we're gonna go ahead and see how she shoots suppressed, and we'll pick up from the dynamics range. So we're gonna see how this thing goes, and starting off. Ooh, I can't hardly see that one. Bingo. These guys again. Killed him. Killed him. Got him. I'm killing targets all over the place. I love my Trujicon reflex. I don't know what's wrong with you, dude, but I have to say...
You think you're better than me?
You know, I'm surprised, actually. I thought this was going to be super slippery and hard to maintain a grip on, but as you guys can see, it's not bad. You know, carbon fiber kind of gets a bad rap, but it's not hot. Now, of course, it's doused in water because it's pouring down rain right now. Gun ran great, man. I was kind of suspect about the mags. Look at this mag, it's smoking. Still smoking. Probably not gonna pick that up anyway, but yeah, dude. Oh, and other thing, the rubberiness, this against the wet clothing worked great. And of course, very pertinent today. And I swear, I said this earlier in the video about the grip getting wet and being able to hold on to it. The grip on here is a Packmeyer grip, and this grip is like super rubber. Like, we're talking like, it doesn't matter how wet it is outside, you're gonna be able to get a good purchase on that thing. It is super rubbery. Definitely something that you should keep in mind when looking for a grip is how are you going to be able to maintain this when it gets muddy, wet, hopefully never bloody, but hey, it is a possibility if you're using this as a defensive firearm. I did not plan this at all, right? I was just cursing the weatherman a few minutes ago. So this is their standard collapsible stock. Very well done, I might say. Very fat lever there at the back to be able to actuate. QD swivel points on both sides of the thing, so if you're left-handed, you have no problem putting one on that side as well. And the fatty rubber butt pad that is on the back of here. Now, the cool thing about this over like a Magpul is it's kind of three-dimensional. Magpul is very thin at the back, so if you're trying to get a weird angle, like shooting over a like a car hood or something like that, allowing that to grip on the side of your clothing instead of having to have a perfect shoulder weld. We saw that was quite pertinent when we were talking about the shotgun stuff. Definitely good on Tacstar for putting that together. Take the stock off very easily, pull down on the lever, pull it off. So, you know, some of those other stocks out there, man, I tell you what, you got bloody nubs by the time you're done doing it. No, it does say reflex on it. That used to, my other one is so old that it says ACOG on it. Or does it say it up here?
That says it up top.
No, yeah, ACOG right there. Yeah. So, like, back in the day, like, I think I bought that thing when I was like 21.
Well, then it's really the sight's fault.
Yeah,
yeah,
right, exactly.
No, it's not my fault.
But it still glows, even though it's like way past its expiration. So.
Totally the sight's fault.
Yeah, it's totally the sight's fault. But go ahead, do your thing.
All right, we're gonna try again.
Bingo.
All right.
This. Bingo. Hit. Hit.
Hey.
Those guys. Through the car. Hit.
The other one fell.
Yep, the other one's down. And we didn't reset it from when I shot too, so you only have one hostage target. Do 'em. Hit. Bring it back around. Alrighty then.
Bam.
Yeah.
I kind of did it.
Kind of did it.
Kind
Man,
of.
I tell you what, that one looked much better now that you know how to use the sight. So.
And they kind of stayed a little clear.
Yeah. I think we're now getting more towards saturation. The temperature's dropping a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not quite condensating quite as bad. Okay. So enough of the bitching. What do you think of, you shot that gun before I put the upgrades on it. Now the perspective, I touched on it a little bit, but what are you thinking?
I like it.
Yeah, did you have any issues with slippage or?
No, and I'm a big fan of these rubberized grips,
Yeah.
just the way they are. I know there's a couple of people that make them. I have several. I like them. That one works just fine. Like you said, this rubber butt pad, it actually does a really good job. Again, not that I'm a professional shooter or anything, but just digging in
Right.
and moving.
Especially because you're like wet up here, so your clothing's gonna gather.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not gonna slop all around on you.
It works well. And then the handguard, when I saw it, when we first got here, I really thought the same thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna be slipping all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, if you have grip strength to grab something,
You know, I
it's just
thought
kind of a funny motion.
it's too bad we didn't have a camera rolling because, man, I tell you what, we were both standing there and we're like, man, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like, oh god, here we go again, you know, doing one of these.
Yeah.
No, as long as you can get a grip on it, you're fine.
Yeah, I think it does fine. So that's the main gripe here against carbon fiber, and most of them are people that don't know what they're talking about anyway.
Yeah,
So,
and you can see it's wet. I mean, it's
yeah,
wet all over the
it's
place.
very wet. I didn't throw any M-LOK slots on there because I didn't think it was necessary. Clearly, the gun needs some backup iron sights.
For fools like me who can't shoot.
But hey, you know, that's why we call it testing. It is not, we do not cherry pick the conditions, and we don't reshoot the conditions. So
It works.
yeah,
I like it.
out.